It's about developing leaders, but in a slightly different way. Given that many leaders would not have a lot of time to spare, and we are still in the developmental stage, so I've formatted it and have tested it in terms of running this workshop as a 2 half-day session. So the first half day is introducing the core theories, secure-based theory, the Kegan's order of mind theory, and then engaging with the GPT model which I have created, right, that's built around secure-based, Kegan's, Otto Scharmer's, and the Greenlights decision-making theory. So by attending this workshop and engaging with the GPT, you'll be able to see whether are you developing or do you actually have a very strong ability to discern. And this discernment from the work that I've done, or the research that I've done, is to see whether can these theories form like a scaffolding to give you the ability to discern. Why discernment is important? Because today's world, AI is part of your life, like it or not. 20 years ago, emails and internet was introduced and very quickly became part of our day-to-day lives. AI is going to do that. But what AI brings on top of that is speed. So if you're trying to make decisions because of speed, you may be making wrong decisions. So in that situation, you need to look at it in the opposite way. How do you slow things down so that you can stay focused on what really matters? That means staying focused to the signal instead of the noise, and discern so that you can see the paradox quite clearly, because a paradox in this case are a situation where you need to make decision based on two truths, and which is the truth that you follow. If you make the right decision, that is well and good. If you make the wrong decision, you have the ability to acknowledge that, hey, this decision is wrong, come back to the paradox and take the alternate route and make a better decision. I think for today's environment and market, those that are a little bit more senior, middle managers or senior managers, but they have people reporting to them. And also working on projects where they are project managers or project lead or team leaders, where they actually have obligation to lead a team and fulfill a project objective. So it's useful for them. A lot of leaders suddenly are facing or having to deal with paradox in terms of two truths, which truth to follow. So discernment becomes a very, very key ability a leader would need in the world where AI is going to be part of your day-to-day life, especially at work. And then as leaders, you make decisions, and I like to call it decision triad. Decision triad based on Matthew McConaughey's book called Greenlights. And that decision triad is once you have the ability to discern, then you can reflect and then decide whether do you need to proceed, do you need to pivot, or do you need to concede? I started looking at how to find ways to develop the maturity of leadership, because I've done many transformation projects across the region, Asia Pacific, some in France, Europe, and so on and so forth. And one of the main challenge that I always see, and I see it till today, is the inability for a leader to make decisions, right? Because they get caught in a paradox. Now, that situation made me to reflect, how could I make things better? And I started to research in terms of how do you use secure base to give more confidence, more trust? How do you use Kegan's adult development model to see whether are you a socialized mind, are you a self-authoring mind, or are you a self-transforming mind? So these are the three major orders: third order, fourth order, and fifth order respectively. Then I looked at Otto Scharmer's theory U to look at presencing, because how do you be at the moment so that by being at the moment you see the signal, not the noise. So you need to be able to filter the noise out, right? So in order to do that, you need to be present at the moment. You don't carry the baggage of the past or your preconceived ideas or preconceived decisions. And when you come in, you are going to make decisions that is already corrupted or influenced by a lot of noise. So Scharmer's theory U helps a person or helps a leader to look at what is right at the moment, focus on the signals, and make decisions based on what really matters, not based on what needs to be done. And then through that, a leader will be able to develop his or her ability to discern and make better decisions.